All right, today we're diving into a true American classic, Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. We're going to follow the story of a boy who goes from being a full-time troublemaker to something of an accidental hero.
And this right here, this quote is pretty much the secret key to the whole story. It's how you unlock one of the most famous characters ever written. This is a kid who didn't just break the rules. He turned breaking the rules into an absolute art form.
So let's set the scene. We're in the little town of St. Petersburg, Missouri, right there on the Mississippi River. And this is where we meet our guy, Tom Sawyer.
Now, Tom was the polar opposite of the town's model boy. He was just wired for excitement. His daily life was all about playing hooky to go swimming, getting into fistfights with new kids just for fun, and generally driving his poor Aunt Polly crazy.
And you really can't understand Tom without knowing about his half-brother, Sid. Sid is, well, he's the worst. He's the perfect, quiet little tattletale who loves the rules. He's the kind of kid who'll notice Aunt Polly use the wrong color thread to sew Tom's collar shut and immediately rat him out for sneaking off. Sid is everything Tom can't stand. Boring, predictable, and way too civilized. But here's where Tom's genius really shines. He has this incredible knack for twisting any bad situation to his advantage. And there's no better example of this than the legendary fence incident.
Okay, so picture it. It's a perfect Saturday for playing, and Tom is stuck with his punishment, whitewashing a huge fence. Total drag, right? But he doesn't mope. He comes up with this brilliant con. When his friends come by to make fun of him, he pretends that whitewashing is this highly skilled, super fun activity. He makes it seem so exclusive that before you know it, the other boys are literally paying him with their little treasures just for a chance to do his work for him. It's incredible.
And through this whole scheme, Tom basically discovers what Twain calls a great law of human action. I mean, think about it. The only thing separating work from play is that you have to do one of them. By making this chore seem like a rare privilege, Tom made it something everybody wanted. It's kind of like marketing 101, proving that we all want what we can't have. But all of Tom's harmless little games and tricks are about to slam headfirst into some very real, very terrifying evil.
It all kicks off with this weird late-night trip to the cemetery. Tom and Huck Finn are there trying to cure warts with the dead cat, as you do. But things get scary fast. They end up hiding and watching three men show up: the town drunk Muff Potter, a fearsome man named Injun Joe, and the young Dr. Robinson. An argument over money gets violent, and the boys watch in horror as Injun Joe murders the doctor and then frames a totally blacked-out Muff Potter for the crime.
I mean, they're absolutely terrified. They know Injun Joe wouldn't think twice about hurting them, so they run off and swear this dramatic, terrifying blood oath to never ever tell anyone what they saw. And believe me, the weight of that secret is going to haunt them.
So Tom is carrying around this huge secret, he feels misunderstood, and he's just plain sick of civilization. So what does he do? He plans his most dramatic escape yet. He gets his friend Joe Harper and, of course, Huckleberry Finn, and the three of them just take off. They steal a raft, head out to Jackson's Island on the river, and declare themselves pirates. They're done with rules, done with school, done with everything.
And for a little while, it is every kid's dream. Total freedom. It's perfect. Until they start hearing cannons booming across the water. They quickly figure out the town thinks they've drowned. They're not searching for them, they're trying to find their bodies.
Now, while the other boys get homesick, Tom sees an opportunity. He sneaks back into town one night and hides while his family mourns him. And he hears his Aunt Polly talking about how much she really loved him, even with all his antics. And it hits him, you know? He sees a kind of love he never fully understood before.
So that gives him the idea for his greatest performance ever. He convinces the others to wait it out until Sunday. And then, right in the middle of their own funeral, the three of them just stroll down the aisle of the church. The town's grief instantly turns to pure shock. In that moment, Tom Sawyer becomes a legend.
But that glory can't last. That dark secret about the murder is still eating away at him. And Tom's conscience is about to push him into his bravest and most dangerous act yet.
So, the trial for poor, innocent Muff Potter is underway, and it's not looking good for him. Tom is completely tormented by his guilt, and then, in a stunning move, the lawyer calls a surprise witness to the stand, Thomas Sawyer.
The whole courtroom goes dead silent. Everybody's watching him. And across the room, Injun Joe is just staring him down. This is it. Tom has to choose, keep his oath and let an innocent man die, or tell the truth and put his own life on the line.
He does it. He breaks the oath. He tells the whole story, getting to the final moment and pointing right at the real killer. And just like that, total chaos. Injun Joe leaps through a window and vanishes. Muff Potter is set free and Tom is hailed as a hero. But now he's got a huge problem. There's a killer on the loose who is definitely out for revenge.
So now Tom's a hero, but he's also a target. And his final big adventure in the book mixes that love of glory with the very real danger posed by Injun Joe.
After this horrifying ordeal where Tom and Becky Thatcher get lost in a cave for days, and Tom even runs into Injun Joe down there in the dark, he manages to find a way out, and he remembers seeing where Joe hid his stolen treasure. He and Huck go back, find the gold, over $12,000 worth. They are incredibly rich.
But for Huckleberry Finn, all this money is like a new kind of trap. The kind Widow Douglas takes him in, and suddenly he's got to wear nice clothes, use silverware, and go to school. He absolutely hates it. It feels like a cage. He runs away, back to his old life, and Tom has to promise they'll start a robber gang just to convince him to come back.
And this really is the question the book leaves us with. For Tom, being civilized is a game that he can win. But for Huck, it's a prison. So it leaves them and us to wonder, what does it really mean to be free? And what's the real cost of being civilized? Makes you think, doesn't it?